Right, so the course is electromagnetic wave and guided media. Uh, so, so first of all, before starting the course, so what do you need to know before starting this course? There are a few things you need to look for before starting this course. The first thing is you need to check out what is your lecture plan, or you need to see what is your syllabus, right? So like these lecture plans and syllabus were actually present in your Google Classroom. Okay, so first try to register to the Google Classroom link which I have sent to your mail. Okay. Uh, so for Google Classroom mail was sent to your rjkt n.ac.in mail IDs. So you should use this domain address. So for this domain address only, you'll get the mails for all your classmates. You get a mail or invitation from Google Classroom. I think most of them have joined, around 200 people or so. So there are another 50 to 60 people are there who didn't join it. So I request all the students to join to this classroom. I think the name of the classroom is something. Let us see. Right. So this is the classroom which you need to join. Uh, so electromagnetic theory and electromagnetic waves and guided media. So I think yeah, 236 students have joined. So you can go to this classwork window. Okay, in the classwork window, I have posted, means I'll be posting the lecture plan and syllabus files in this tab. Okay, so this is your lecture plan file. Okay, so this file will be shared with you. You can go through it. Basically, this plan is nothing but, and this is not to make a plan for you. Okay, and మీరు ఎట్లా ప్లాన్ చేసుకోవాలని కాదు. This is a plan for teaching the subject, so that you can get an idea what will be going on and all. And syllabus కూడా ఉంది. సో అంటే మీకు ఇవి షేర్ చేస్తుంది ఎందుకు అంటే because you need to get an idea overall what you will be learning in this course. And ఒకవేళ if you find that some points or some points of the course or some concepts of the course need revision in your previous subjects, so you can go back and have some revision, and you can come back and listen to your lectures, or you can work on your course in this semester. So andikani you just take an overview of the syllabus also. I will be posting it. So basically you have 6 units. As you can see, the first unit is an introduction unit, and after that we'll be talking about wave propagations, and after that you have transmission and parameters, and you have 2 units regarding the waveguides. So this is your overview of your course, right? Anyways, we'll talk more about it. And in the course also there are some references for books and video link references. We'll talk slowly about those things also in today's session. So this is your syllabus file and lecture plan file. You can see the, means I'll be uploading them in the Google Classroom, and you can see those files from there. Okay. And coming to the next part, so once you have gone through the lecture plan and syllabus sheet, the next thing is you need to settle is what books you need to read. Okay. So electromagnetic waves and guided media means electromagnetic wave theory is basically very a prominent one, or well established kind of concept. Okay, electromagnetic theory another chala well established concept. So it is been in engineering from many years. So there are many standard books. Okay, because basically your generation have everything online. So definitely you will be interested in accessing online content, like you might be interested in going for video lectures online or some kind of content that explains the concept online. So because we are dealing with a 4G generation, we have a lot of data speed, everything comes as a video now. So it's okay, you can always go and look for videos that clarify your doubts regarding concepts in your subject, because there are many vast number of video reference links, not just nptel is the one which we use. Okay, but uh, coming to electromagnetic waves, there are many links from MIT as well as Yale University, and many other domains are there in YouTube. You find many courses on electromagnetic waves. So it's your interest and it's your dedication, uh, and your hard work might cover many courses. If you are willing, then you can definitely go for it. Mostly, I'll try to uh, clarify most of the concepts. So, thing is, I will not be following a single book. Okay, నా స్లైడ్స్ ఎప్పుడు ఏంటంటే they will not be only from a particular book. So usually I collect the data from various online links and various books, right, and also from various video resources, whichever I find is more or it's very easy to understand, అంటే ఒక గుడ్ ఎక్స్ప్లెనేషన్ ఉందనుకోండి కాన్సెప్ట్కి, I keep it in my slides. So that is how I find them. So sometimes I will write the references, so you can go through the references and you can always go through those links and you can see the concepts in the websites also. But you can also individually browse your internet to get the information on these topics which I have shown you before in the syllabus. Either books key, but then what is the necessity of books? And definitely book reading is a very good habit. So my professors have preferred books and I have preferred books, and we read many books. Maybe now the information in books is also there in the websites now. So you are kind of a lucky generation probably, but they might be distracting. But in a book you can get a lot of knowledge. So these books are there are some standard books which are generally used for these kind of concepts in engineering. Okay, so there are three standard books which I will be using. Okay, first one is Sadiko is the author, and I think it is elements of electromagnetics or something, right? And the other one is William Hayes. Uh, it is the author is William Hayes, and it is also electromagnetics, the book name. And the other one is named the author is Puzar, okay, and the book name is Microwave Engineering. So these first two books, basically we cover most of the 4 units from this book. Okay, whereas the last 2 units, uh, some concepts are covered from this book, and of course here also the last 2 units will have some concepts covered from this book also. So you can always open the book and you can read the book, because once you read the book, you get a lot of knowledge from it. So because each book is a perspective of an author. Okay? So why do I suggest to read many books is so if you listen to my lecture, say for example you are listening to my lectures, and you read means, say for example there is a concept of electric fields. Okay, so what is this electric field and what is the fuss about it and concept enti anadi, I can give you an explanation basing on my perspective. Okay, but if you listen to the explanation of the same concept by some other professor, okay, if you listen to 10 people who talk about electric field, okay, then I can definitely say you 11th time you will have an idea on your electric on the concept of electric field. Means you form an idea, and then నీకు ఆ కాన్సెప్ట్ మీద you create your own idea and you create your own understanding. So it is something like because same concept ni different members explain చేస్తున్నప్పుడు what is the basic in that concept అన్నది you can grasp it easily. So if you just read one book, you get to know what Sadiq is saying. That's it. So say for example you only read Sadiq book, you'll understand what only Sadiq is trying to tell you. Okay. But if you read William Haith also, okay, regarding the same concept, if you read William Haith also, then you will see that William Haith will try to explain the same concept in a different way. And you might read another book again. Okay, so అట్లాగా మీరు different books చదువుతున్నప్పుడు the same concept is explained in a different ways by different people. Once you read that, you get an idea regarding the concept. అప్పుడు మీకు కాన్సెప్ట్ మీద మంచి ఐడియా వస్తుంది. So that is why I always suggest to read books, but this generation, I cannot say, I cannot ask you to read books because most of them read online. Maybe in online also, many people are using the content from the books and they are projecting their ideas there. So it's always good to understand, to know various ideas, means what other people are thinking regarding that idea, then you can understand the concept more. So I always suggest you to go through the books. But moreover, apart from the concept oriented necessity for the books, the only thing which I ask you to read the books, అంటే బుక్స్ మీద నేను ఎందుకు కాన్సన్ట్రేట్ చేయమంటానంటే the books contains a lot of problems and the questions, right? So say for example, after completing a concept, there will be, you need to solve some problems in it. Our course itself have many problems. Okay, one course and the it is a lot of maths is involved. It is a mathematical course. I cannot help it, though there are many concepts in it involved, but every concept is backed by some mathematical statement. So definitely you will be solving mathematical problems. So that is why after completing a concept, we'll solve a problem related to that concept. So if you want more problems on it, or if you want to clear that idea, you need to basically work hard, right? అంటే క్లాస్లో చెప్పిన ఒక ప్రాబ్లమ్ సాల్వ్ చేసి వదిలేస్తే సరిపోదు. ఓకే, సే ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ if I explain you what is electric field and I make you to solve one problem in the class, okay, because I cannot solve 10 problems in the class because I have to cover the whole course. So maybe electric field అనే కాన్సెప్ట్ మీద నేను ఒక ప్రాబ్లమ్ సాల్వ్ చేస్తాను మీ చేత, but remain కానీ electric field మీద there are many number of problems. Okay, so where you can get those kind of questions అంటే you have to open the book. Okay, a book open చేస్తే you can see the example problems are there, backside problems ఉంటాయి questions. You open and once you solve those problems, you get more idea. So that is why I always suggest you to go through these books and solve the problem, so that in the exam you will definitely feel easier. Okay, that is my guarantee. That is what I will give you. Okay, so where do I get these books, sir? And I have again in the classroom. In the classroom, I have posted the soft copies of these books. You can see textbooks. One is Elements of Electromagnetic Wave Sadiku, and another is Engineering Electromagnetics by William Haith, and the other one is Kuzak. Okay, so right. So I hope you can download those books from the Google Classroom. Okay. And the next thing which you need to know before starting the course is all materials will be posted in the Google Classroom portal. So starting from assignments and quizzes and my PPTs and the video lectures which I will be recording. So mostly classes, I'll record the class and I'll post it in the this maybe Google Classroom portal or a YouTube portal, so that people who have missed the class or who wants to review the class again, they can again watch the video. Okay, so that is what I'll be doing. I'll be posting most of the materials and problems and reading materials, everything in the Google Classroom. So make it your responsibility to continuously follow the portal. No, because previously ఏంటంటే the class used to be మీరు మా ఎదురుగుండా కూర్చుని ఉండేవారు. You will be sitting before me and we will be sharing the material physically, and we used to monitor the students also. But being online course, I definitely uh, need your support also. Support in the sense, you need to be more responsible, right? uh, cheating cheating class means నన్ను చీట్ చేయడం వల్ల యూ అచీవ్ నథింగ్. ఓకే, సో యూ మైట్ థింక్ నేను చాలా తెలివిగా క్లాస్ స్కిప్ చేశాను, లేదా తెలివిగా అసైన్మెంట్ స్కిప్ చేశాను, తెలివిగా ఒక ప్రాబ్లం చేయకుండా స్కిప్ చేశాను అని అనుకోవచ్చు. కానీ ద మోర్ టైమ్స్ యూ డూ ఇట్, ద మోర్ యు ఆర్ లూజింగ్, రైట్? You are losing your capability of being a good means of understanding a good concept, or getting more practice. Okay, so you lose your knowledge and all. Okay, so అందుకనే I definitely don't suggest to play, to try to skip the things. అలాంటి పనులు ఏం చేయొద్దు. Be sincere. Definitely, I'll assure you that you can go through this course. And the next thing is you need to have calculator with you. Okay, so before andi ante I used to insist students that before coming to electromagnetic course they should bring it with a calculator, or else I used to ask them to leave the class. Okay, so why calculator is needed is because while solving the, while explaining the concepts, after every concept I usually give a problem. Okay, and we solve a problem. So solving a problem ante, because previously in the live classroom, I mean in the classroom usually like students, when you are sitting here and your seniors were sitting, I used to give the problem and I used to solve it, and I used to reach to the students, right? And students దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళి వాళ్ళ బుక్లో ఏం రాస్తున్నారు, వాట్ ఆర్ దే సాల్వింగ్, వాట్ ఈక్వేషన్స్ ఆర్ దే ఆర్ డూయింగ్, అంటే ఎట్లా స్టెప్ బై స్టెప్ ఎట్లా వెళ్తున్నారు, ఇవన్నీ మానిటర్ చేసేవాడిని. బట్ బికాస్ నౌ ఐ కెనాట్ డూ ఇట్, ఎందుకంటే మీరు దేని మీద రాస్తున్నారు, బుక్ ఎక్కడుంది అన్నవన్నీ మీ దగ్గరే ఉంటాయి. ఓకే, సో ఐ కెన్ నెవర్ నో వెదర్ యు ఆర్ యాక్చువల్లీ సాల్వింగ్ ఆర్ యు ఆర్ జస్ట్, అంటే ఏముంది గ్రూప్లో ఒకరి ఆన్సర్ చెప్తే అదే ఆన్సర్ అందరూ రీపోస్ట్ చేయొచ్చు. ఓకే, బట్ డూయింగ్ సో విల్ డెఫినెట్లీ decrease your chances of means the course will become difficult and difficult if you don't practice చేయకపోతే it becomes difficult. అట్లీస్ట్ క్లాస్లో చెప్తున్నప్పుడు నేను ఒక ప్రాబ్లం ఇచ్చి మీకు టైం ఇచ్చి, if you ask you to solve, be sincere and try to solve it. Even if you don't get the answer, try to write at least 2 or 3 steps. Okay, if you are unable to write the steps, immediately ask me, sir నాకు immediately you post a comment, sir I couldn't understand what steps I have to take, at least guide me with the steps, so then I will guide you with the steps. Okay, so don't be shy, okay, to ask me, because this is an online class. You can also put me a private message in this Google Classroom. If you're worried that everyone will see your message, you can post a private message. I will repeat the process again then. Okay, so always have a calculator with you and try to solve the problems as I was when I'm trying to interact with you with the concepts. After explaining the concepts, I'll be giving you a problem, right? So this is one thing you need to keep in your mind while attending this course in the semester. And of course, the thing is, the course is tough. Okay, I will not be I'm not going to show you something like this is very easy, you can do it at line Japan. Course is tough. Okay, the course is tough, but I can assure you that it is an enjoyable thing. Means once you understand the concepts, you will definitely feel how this nature works, and you will definitely feel better regarding the engineering. That is what I can assure you. Okay, but the course is tough. It is just like our life. Okay, that is how I try to say. Okay, because in this the current scenario, the COVID, everyone is suffering with many troubles. Whether it is, maybe it's not because of the diseases, because of the economy and because of many other things. People have to stay in the home, and many families are facing many problems. Even at these times, we are not losing hope. We are still trying to run all the things, or we are still trying to have a life, right? సో కోవిడ్ వచ్చింది, కోవిడ్ ఉందని చెప్పి అన్ని పనులు ఆపేసి బెడ్ మీద పడుకుని, లేదు నేను బయటికి వెళ్తే చచ్చిపోతాను, ఇంకా అయిపోయింది, ది లైఫ్ ఈజ్ డన్, దిస్ ఈస్ ద ఎండ్ ఆఫ్ ద లైఫ్. దట్ ఈస్ నాట్ ది అప్రోచ్ వి ఫాలో, రైట్? Because whatever life we have, we try to enjoy it, and we try to work hard, or we try to strive. Okay, కష్టపడతాం. So that is what we have. That is life. So definitely we have a lot of troubles in our life, but even with those troubles, we try to laugh. నవ్వుతాము, we laugh, we eat, we sleep, right? So in the same way, the course is also tough. Okay, it may give you troubles, right? You might feel, chala mathematical stuff and it is difficult for me. So don't get low about the course. Whenever you feel like I'm unable to take up the course, you talk to me. Okay, you ask me, or we'll have a discussion. Okay, I will try to put you back on the track. Okay, so don't get low and thinking that the course online lo undi, maybe I cannot achieve what I want. So don't get disappointed regarding those things. So the last thing which I have to say before starting this course is, yes, my name is Bharat, and I don't bite you if you ask me doubts. Okay, so don't worry regarding the doubts at all. Okay, so if you have any doubts, uh, you can always ask me. Okay, because, and even I like when students ask doubts, because that even gives me a chance to explore the concept in a different ways, right? Because many student thinks the concept in a different manner. Concept ni different గా ఆలోచిస్తుంటారు, వాళ్ళకి వెరైటీగా డౌట్స్ వస్తుంటాయి. సో వన్స్ some doubts are also challenging to me also. So that's why I will always encourage doubts. Okay, and even if you have doubts, that reflects me that you are trying to understand the concept. So once you try to understand the concept, you will definitely get a doubt. Okay, so where do I post the doubts? Doubts ki etla sir ante, of course I'm not going to use the WhatsApp, because WhatsApp is not a great platform to posting your doubts and all. So I'm trying to create a discussion form. Okay, so a discussion form. So a discussion forum ఒకటి క్రియేట్ చేద్దాం అనుకుంటున్నాను, so that all the students can post their doubts there. And once you post the doubts there, I will be answering the post, and remaining people also can comment on the post. So it will be an interactive thing. So maybe I'm thinking to use Google Teams. Okay, so Microsoft, sir, not Google. So Microsoft Teams undi. Okay, so Microsoft Teams lo, like I'm trying to create a team with all of your mail IDs. It is still in progress. Maybe I'll use this Microsoft Teams or some other domain to create, so you can post your doubts here. Like if you have any doubt, you can simply click the reply button here, and or you can create a new conversation and you can post your doubt here. Okay, so once you post the doubt, then I can answer to it. So like you can click a new conversation, and from there you can attach some files, or right, you can simply write your doubt on, means you can write your doubt on a paper, and you can take a picture of the doubt, and you can post that picture here. Okay, there is no need of typing also. So in this way, I'm trying to make it more interactive, so that you can post your doubts and I can answer them easily. Means there is always, you can always mail me. Okay, but sometimes people think mailing is a difficult task, probably because we are using WhatsApp and all kind of platforms. So you can mail me at so probably you know my mail ID, but anyway, it again. So you can always post your doubts in my mail ID. You can mail me your doubts, or you can also send a message to my number also. I think you have my mobile number with you, so you can send a message to my mobile number, and I'll respond if I have time. I'll definitely respond. Means in WhatsApp, I don't know whether I'll respond or not, but if you mail me or if you put a personal message or so, I'll definitely respond to you in meantime. But I'll be putting up a discussion form so that it will be even easier for everyone to access and all. So this is what I'm trying to do for the course. Uh, and this is what you need to know before starting the course. And so coming to the course, okay. So because this is our course now, so definitely you will have a doubt like, so what is the importance of this course, or why you are taking this course, right? Asli course enduku నేర్చుకుంటున్నాము, or what is the importance of this course, right? So before talking about the importance of this course, I have to tell you a thing about the origin of this course. Okay. So origin of this course ఎందుకు చెప్పాలి అంటే, your seniors have not studied electromagnetic waves and guided media. You are the first batch who are going to study electromagnetic waves and guided media. So before the subject was called electromagnetic engineering, but in this semester the course was changed in the BOS to electromagnetic waves and guided media for uh, your batch. So ఏంటి చేంజ్ ఏమొచ్చింది అంటే, సో ఫర్ యువర్ సీనియర్స్ యాక్చువల్లీ, okay, for your seniors they've studied EME course, electromagnetic engineering course, and in this course they have studied vector calculus చదివారు, and they have studied electrostatics, and they have studied magnetostatics, right? And they have studied electrodynamics, and they have studied wave propagation, and they have studied transmission lines, right? So this was the syllabus for your seniors, okay. In the second semester they have studied in the second semester E2. But what we have observed was the syllabus was kind of extreme for them. There is a lot of load in the course. So for your batch, what happened was this part of the course was actually pushed into physics. Okay, so I guess in the engineering physics course, I guess you studied regarding vector calculus and electrostatics and magnetostatics and electrodynamics. In fact, in mathematics also you might have studied vector calculus, and I think the revision of vector calculus is done in engineering physics. Electrostatics, magnetostatics, electrodynamics, I think in engineering physics something around Maxwell equations, up to Maxwell equations was covered, okay. And whatever part that was remaining, okay, this is actually in this course now. So for you, electromagnetic waves and guided media, in this course the remaining things that are left were wave propagation, and concept was transmission lines, and we have also added means in the BOS new concept was added in this course, that is waveguides, right? So in order to understand, so for you, in order to understand this course, so your course basically comprises of all these three topics. మీ మొత్తం కోర్స్ అంతా ఈ 3 టాపిక్స్ని డిస్కస్ చేస్తున్నాం. ఇండివిజువల్లీ ఇన్ చాప్టర్స్ ఎట్లా డివైడ్ చేస్తామనేది పక్కన పెడితే, దిస్ ఇస్ ద టోటల్ 5 units which you read, okay. And of course the unit 1 is nothing but the introduction. In this introduction chapter we actually revise, means we do revision of this basics again, okay. So that is what your course is on. So maybe first unit anadi, maybe I'll teach it around 1 week or 1.5 week or so, okay. So even 1.5 week lo, I suggest all the students who have difficulties in remembering your previous engineering physics course, go back to the course, open back your notes or materials, and try to read those things again, refresh your memory, okay. Because we'll be using them again, okay. You'll be seeing electric and magnetic fields, Maxwell equations, and vector calculus again, right? So I'll be revising them, but anyways, it's better you go back and revise your concepts again so that you will feel more flexible while trying to understand these new concepts in this course. Okay. So the objective of the course is basically to introduce you to three concepts. ఈ త్రీ కాన్సెప్ట్స్కి మిమ్మల్ని ఇంట్రడ్యూస్ చేయడమే ఈ కోర్స్ యొక్క అబ్జెక్టివ్. ఓకే. సో ఎందుకు సార్ అంటే బికాస్ ఇన్ ది ఇంజనీరింగ్ ఫిజిక్స్ మీకు బేసిక్స్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేయించాము. దట్ ఈస్ ఇన్ ది ఇంజనీరింగ్ ఫిజిక్స్ యూ అండర్స్టూడ్ ఎలక్ట్రోస్టాటిక్స్ అండ్ మ్యాగ్నెటోస్టాటిక్స్ అండ్ వాట్ హ్యాపెన్స్ వెన్ యూ హ్యావ్ టైమ్ వేరింగ్ ఫీల్డ్స్ and the complete consolidation of electric and magnetic effects by Maxwell equations వరకు డీల్ చేస్తారు, right? So that is a basic thing which you'll study in your engineering physics. So we'll be applying those things and we'll try to understand these three concepts in this course. So that is your objective of the course, is basically to understand these three concepts. So why it is so important to understand these three concepts? ఏమున్నది ఈ త్రీ కాన్సెప్ట్స్లో అంటే, right? So let me go one by one. Okay, so what is the importance of each concept? So the first concept is wave propagation. Okay, so if wave propagation, what we are dealing is an electromagnetic wave, right? ఇక్కడ wave propagation అంటున్నారంటే it is an electromagnetic wave propagation. So all wireless communication systems, communication or sensing or anything kind of systems or wireless systems usually use electromagnetic waves. Okay, most of our means if I have my mobile here, right? So say I have my mobile here. So this mobile is actually, so if you try to call your friend, this mobile will have an antenna here. Okay, so there is an antenna here to the mobile, and this antenna basically radiates electromagnetic waves out, and these electromagnetic waves are somewhere by your friend, right, who you're calling. So you'll be receiving the electromagnetic wave. So this is a very crude version of saying about what happens. Okay, but there are many engineering systems involved in order to create such a concept. Okay, అంటే ఫోన్ తయారు చేయడానికి సింపుల్ ఎలక్ట్రోమాగ్నెటిక్ వేవ్స్ అక్కడ తెలిస్తే సరిపోదు. ఓకే, ఐ వుడ్ నాట్ సే దట్ ఎలక్ట్రోమాగ్నెటిక్ వేవ్స్ తెలిస్తే ఫోన్ తయారు చేసేయచ్చు అని నేను అన్నాను. ఓకే, because a phone is a complex structure which needs an understanding in many ranges, right? You need to have an idea regarding the circuit design. Circuits ఒక డిజైన్ చేసేస్తే, so if it is like sir, if you have concepts regarding the VLSI fabrication and all, it doesn't mean you can build a phone. Okay, you have a good idea under digital logic design and all, it doesn't mean you can build a phone. Okay, if you have a good idea in communication systems, can I build a phone? And no, you cannot build a phone. Okay, so in order to build a phone, you need to have idea regarding all the domains, right? You need to have idea regarding the electromagnetic waves, you need to have idea regarding the microwave engineering, you need to have idea regarding digital domain, you need to have VLSI domain. So usually what happens is the engineers are selected from various domains, and all these things are combined together to make a product like this. So inside an organization, so Samsung, say for example, Qualcomm తీసుకున్నారనుకోండి, inside Qualcomm you don't see people who work only on IC design. Okay, there are people who work on antenna designs, there are people who works on RFIC design, radio frequency IC design, and there are people who will be working on the fabrication part, they're working on electromagnetic interference part. So there are various domains, there are various sectors. For communication protocols, there will be an engineer. For development of BIOS or kernel files, a software engineer is needed. To provide an operating system to your Qualcomm IC, an engineer is needed, a software engineer is needed, an embedded systems engineer is needed. So there are many branches that are involved to finally make such a piece. Okay, but the subjects which you are reading, all subjects will help you to finally get to this part where you can understand what is happening inside the phone, right? So as a part of that, so because most of the wireless communications, so in your communication systems, I think in this semester you have the course of communication systems. So in the communication systems, you will be studying a very important concept called modulation. I don't know whether it is started or not, but the concept of modulation concept of modulation will help you, or the concept of modulation basically gives you an idea like instead of sending, there are some difficulties to send the data directly, okay, and basically using a low frequency content data, it is difficult to transmit, or the size of your antenna becomes big, or the data rate is very low. So usually people go for, or the band, there is bandwidth limitations and all, so people go for very high frequencies. And say for example this phone, okay, and this phone, your 4G and 2G, 4G I think they work around 2 gigahertz or so, okay, and 3G and all they work at 1 gigahertz or so, okay. And if you think of Wi-Fi, okay, Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, okay, these tech around 2.45 gigahertz, okay. So you can see you will be working at very high frequencies. So at these high frequencies, you're transmitting an electromagnetic wave. So an electromagnetic wave that is generated has to propagate from this building, and it has to go out, and it has to reach a mobile station antenna, and again from there it has to reach the particular receiver, and from there you have to transmit the information. So usually there are 3 steps involved in this kind of thing, okay. So first thing is how to create, right? Create an electromagnetic wave, right? And again, the next part is you need to propagate. What happens to the propagation of EM electromagnetic? The electromagnetic wave has to go from one point to another point. And the final part is you have to receive the electromagnetic wave, right? So because whatever electromagnetic wave you have created, that will be embedded with the information which you want to send, and that wave has to propagate, and then you have to receive. So how do you create an electromagnetic wave and how do you receive an electromagnetic wave comes under the concepts of antennas, antenna designs, which is an extension of these electromagnetic waves. So that is why until unless you don't know how a wave propagates, you cannot understand how you can create those kind of waves. అలాంటి waves ఎట్లా తయారు చేయొచ్చు అన్నది తెలియదు, right? So until unless you don't know, say for example, if you have some kind of water surface or so, okay, surface మీద తీసుకురావాలనుకోండి, if you don't study the ripples, how do you don't know what kind of course you might say for example you have a bucket like this now, you have a bucket, and in this bucket there is water like this, and if I ask you to create ripples in the bucket, అంటే ఈ బకెట్లో వాటర్ ఎట్లా రిపిల్స్ ఫామ్ అవ్వాలి అన్నా అనుకోండి, ఏం చేస్తారు? యూ జస్ట్ థ్రో ఏ స్టోన్ లైక్ దిస్, అంతే కదా. ఏదైనా ఇఫ్ యూ డ్రాప్ ఎ పెబుల్ or a marble like this, what happens? That marble will create disturbance on the surface of the water. So disturbance create చేయడానికి నేను వాటర్ వేవ్ థియరీ ఇప్పుడు ఏం చదవక్కర్లేదు. There is no need of understanding the mathematics of this wave. సో నేను ఎలా పడేయాలి అవి తెలుసుకోకర్లేదు. నేను వేవ్ క్రియేట్ చేయాలంటే చాలా సింపుల్గా క్రియేట్ చేయొచ్చు. అంటే ఒక వాటర్ మీద, ఒక వాటర్ సర్ఫేస్ మీద, ఓకే, డిస్టర్బెన్స్ క్రియేట్ చేయాలనుకోండి, దానికి నేనేం పెద్ద కష్టపడక్కర్లేదు. సింప్లీ ఐ కెన్ పుట్ మై హ్యాండ్ లైక్ దిస్, వెంటనే సర్ఫేస్ మీద రిపుల్స్ వచ్చేస్తాయి. అయితే సే ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఐ ఆస్క్ యూ టు డూ సంథింగ్ లైక్ దిస్, ఓకే. సో అదే వాటర్ బకెట్ ఉంది నాన్న, ఓకే, ఐ హ్యావ్ ద సేమ్ వాటర్ బకెట్, బట్ సే ఇఫ్ ఐ ఆస్క్ యూ టు డిస్టర్బ్ ద వాటర్ సర్ఫేస్ సచ్ దట్ ఐ గెట్ ఓన్లీ రిపుల్స్ ఆన్ దిస్ సైడ్, ఈ సైడ్ రిపుల్స్ రాకూడదు. ఏమి అంటే నేను ఇక్కడ డిస్టర్బ్ చేసినప్పుడు నాకు రిపుల్స్ అన్నీ ఒక సైడే రావాలి. అంటే ఇలా నేను వాటర్ సర్ఫేస్ మీద ఏదో ఒక డిస్టర్బెన్స్ క్రియేట్ చేయాలి. చేసినప్పుడు ఏంటంటే నాకు ఆ డిస్టర్బెన్స్ అన్నది, రిపుల్స్ అన్నవి యూజువల్గా ఏంటి, మీరు ఇలా వాటర్ సర్ఫేస్ ఉందనుకోండి, మీరు బకెట్లో ఇలా చేయాల పెట్టారనుకోండి, ఇలా అనగానే ఏమవుతుంది, అన్ని సైడ్స్ వెళ్ళిపోతాయి రిపుల్స్ అన్ని సైడ్స్ వస్తాయి. యు సీ రిపుల్స్ ఇన్ ఆల్ సైడ్స్. బట్ సే ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ నౌ ఐ ఓన్లీ వాంట్ రిపుల్స్ ఆన్ దిస్ సైడ్, ఓకే, ఐ డోంట్ వాంట్ రిపుల్స్ గోయింగ్ దిస్ సైడ్ ఆర్ దిస్ సైడ్, ఐ ఓన్లీ వాంట్ రిపుల్స్ గోయింగ్ ఇన్ దిస్ సైడ్. అప్పుడు నాకు ఏదో ఒక సైడే ఎనర్జీ వెళ్ళాలి అన్నాను, ఏదో ఒక సైడే వేవ్ ప్రాపగేట్ అవ్వాలి దిస్ సైడ్ నాకు. సో ఇఫ్ ఐ నీడ్ సచ్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ రిక్వైర్మెంట్స్, దెన్ హౌ డూ ఐ క్రియేట్ మై సోర్స్? అంటే నేను ఎలాగ ఎగ్జైట్ చేస్తే, హౌ షుడ్ ఐ ఎగ్జైట్ ద వాటర్ సచ్ దట్ ఐ గెట్ రిపుల్స్ ఓన్, ఐ గెట్ డిస్టర్బెన్స్ ఆర్ వేవ్స్, వాటర్ వేవ్స్ ఓన్లీ ఇన్ వన్ పర్టికులర్ డైరెక్షన్. సో అది తెలియాలనుకోండి, then you need to understand how an electromagnetic wave propagates actually, because without studying how waves are created on the surface of a water surface మీద waves ఎలా క్రియేట్ అవుతాయన్న నాలెడ్జ్ నీకు లేదనుకో, You cannot create a situation where the waves are traveling only in one particular direction. So that is why people started studying wave propagation, because in antennas, sometimes you say, for example, I have a scenario like this. Okay, let us take a scenario. So నా ఎర్త్ ఇక్కడ ఉంది. ఎర్త్ ఏంటి అంటే a satellite is moving around. Okay. So here is my earth station. It is trying to reach satellite. Okay. Say the satellite is sending electromagnetic waves in all direction. Okay. అన్ని డైరెక్షన్స్ లోనే పంపిస్తుంది. ఇక్కడ ఎవరున్నారు? No one here. So it is absolutely stupid to send information in this direction. సో నా శాటిలైట్ మీద ఉన్న యాంటీనా అది ఇట్ షుడ్ ఓన్లీ క్రియేట్ ఎలక్ట్రోమాగ్నెటిక్ వేవ్స్ ఇన్ డౌన్వర్డ్ డైరెక్షన్. అంటే ఇట్ షుడ్ ఓన్లీ క్రియేట్ డిస్టర్బెన్సెస్ ఇన్ డౌన్వర్డ్ డైరెక్షన్. It should not create any disturbances in upward or backward directions or so. So how do you create such kind of devices where you can create disturbances only in a particular direction? So తెలియాలి అంటే you need to understand how the wave propagates in an means in various scenarios and all. So that is why wave propagation has a lot of importance in understanding wireless communication and designing the parts of wireless communication like antennas and all. So that is why we'll introduce you to wave propagation phenomena in the first 2 units. And coming to the next one is transmission lines. So transmission lines, what is the importance of transmission lines or where do we use transmission lines is basically at high frequencies. I think you have studied network theory. So network theory course avundundadi meeku. And so you have studied network theory, okay, and you have studied basic electronics, okay. ఇవన్నీ చదవటం వల్ల ఏం ఉపయోగం వచ్చింది అంటే you understood how to deal with basic elements like resistor, inductor, capacitor and diodes, okay, transistors. వీటిని ఎలా డీల్ చేయాలో తెలుసుకున్నారు. ఇప్పుడు ఏంటంటే ఇవన్నీ డివైజెస్, సో ఈచ్ వన్ ఈజ్ అ సెపరేట్ డివైస్, రైట్? So now you combine these devices and you make some interesting circuits in your course LIC, right? So integrated circuits like you make amplifiers like differential amplifiers, op amps, you make various circuits like log amplifiers or dividers, summing circuits, or you can also use you can create things like filters, right? Filters design చేస్తారు. సో ఇట్లాగా సమ్ ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్ ఎలక్ట్రికల్ సర్క్యూట్స్ ని డిజైన్ చేస్తారు ఎల్ఐసిలో. సో అది డిజైన్ చేయడానికి ఏంటంటే ద బేసిస్ ఇస్ నెట్వర్క్ థియరీ అండ్ బేసిక్ ఎలక్ట్రానిక్స్. సో వన్స్ యూ నో హౌ టు ప్లే విత్ దిస్ రెసిస్టర్స్, ఇండక్టర్స్, కెపాసిటర్స్, వాటి లాస్ ఏంటో మీకు తెలిస్తే ఆ లాస్ని యూస్ చేసుకుని యూ ఆర్ ఏబుల్ టు బిల్డ్ వెరీ కాంప్లెక్స్ సర్క్యూట్స్, ఓకే. బట్ ఆల్ దీస్ థియరీస్, ఈ థియరీస్ అన్ని ఏంటంటే హై ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీలో దే ఫెయిల్. At very high frequencies, like when you are operating at megahertz or gigahertz frequency ranges. In this frequency ranges, like for example, the circuits that are present inside your mobile phone will be operating at 1 gigahertz or so. So our frequencies lo endante when you have design circuits, your basic resistor, inductor, capacitors will fail. Okay, you have to design in a special way in order to create resistance, inductance and capacitance. Alanti effects create cheyali ante you have to work in a very intelligent and different way at high frequencies. So the basic step, right, or the basic course, just like ikkada complex circuits meer LIC lo filters, amplifiers ivanni design cheyadaniki mundu network theory ela aithe nerchukuntaro basic course laga, high frequencies lo RF circuits design cheyadam kosam you need to have a basic idea. The basic course for it is transmission line analysis. Just like network theory, transmission line analysis tells you how to deal with circuits at high frequencies. High frequencies lo circuits ni ela deal cheyali annadi transmission line analysis will give you a perspective. So once you understand transmission line analysis, it becomes easier to design high frequency devices even using circuit theory. మనకు తెలిసిన సర్క్యూట్ థియరీ లాగే యూ కెన్ యూస్ ట్రాన్స్మిషన్ లైన్ అనాలిసిస్ అండ్ యూ కెన్ క్రియేట్ సమ్ అమేజింగ్ డివైజెస్ లైక్ మిక్సర్స్ అండ్ పవర్ amplifiers, right? These are all high frequency power amplifiers, and we have low noise amplifier systems. Excuse me. సో ఇట్లాగా యూ కెన్ డిజైన్ మెనీ థింగ్స్, మెనీ ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్ థింగ్స్. అవి డిజైన్ చేయాలంటే ఆర్ఎఫ్ఐసి డిజైన్లో, అంటే జస్ట్ లైక్ ఎల్ఐసిలో ఎలా డిజైన్ చేస్తారో ఆర్ఎఫ్ఐసిలో, in RFIC course they usually design all these things. Okay, but to design these kind of things, so mixers, power amplifiers, LNA systems, ఇవన్నీ ఏంటంటే I usually see them in all kind of wireless systems. Wireless systems లో ఉండే block diagrams ఇవి. These are the major blocks that are present in almost all wireless communication systems or super heterodyne systems. So if you design చేయాలంటే first of all you need to have the basic theory. The basic theory is nothing but transmission line analysis. So that is why you read transmission line theory. That is importance of transmission line analysis. So we'll be introducing you to the transmission line analysis, and of course the last concept which we'll be seeing in our course is waveguides. So the waveguides ante you might have listened about optical fiber, right? Optical fiber gurinchi vinnuntaru. If you haven't listened to it, we'll talk about it in the course again. So optical fiber enti ante it simply carries light from one point to another point. Okay, so if you have light energy here, so if I have light energy here, I can carry the energy which is in the form of light from this point to this point. Maybe here is transmitting circuit and here is my receiving circuit. I can carry my information from transmitter to, energy from transmitter to receiver. Usually ఏంటంటే at high frequencies carrying information from source to load. So ఇక్కడ లోడ్ ఉన్నది అనుకోండి, if there is a load here and if this is source ని లోడ్ మధ్యలో కనెక్ట్ చేయడానికి ఏం వాడతామంటే we usually use wires, right? మన ల్యాబ్స్లో కాపర్ వైర్స్ ఉంటాయి కదా. సో సే ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ నా దగ్గర సిగ్నల్ సోర్స్ ఉంది, ఐ వాంట్ టు కనెక్ట్ టు రెసిస్టర్. ఈ రెండు కనెక్ట్ చేయడానికి ఏం యూస్ చేస్తారు? ల్యాబ్లో అడిగితే దే విల్ గివ్ యూ వైర్స్ అండ్ యూ యూజువల్ యూస్ ద వైర్స్ అండ్ కనెక్టెడ్. సో ఈ వైర్స్ ఏంటంటే ద వైర్స్ ఆర్ లైక్ ఎ గైడింగ్ మెకానిజం. దే ఆర్ టేకింగ్ ద ఎనర్జీ ఫ్రమ్ సోర్స్ అండ్ దే ఆర్ డెలివరింగ్ ఇట్ టు ద లోడ్. సోర్స్ దగ్గర ఉన్న ఎనర్జీ తీసుకుని లోడ్కి ఇస్తున్నాం. అలా వెళ్ళడానికి హూ ఇస్ హెల్పింగ్ అంటే ఈ వైర్స్ హెల్ప్ చేస్తున్నాయి. బట్ యాజ్ యూ గో టు హైయర్ ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీస్, this wire mechanism will not work and you need to create some kind of special devices in order to efficiently transmit energy from one point to another point. And because light is an electromagnetic wave, so can I put a wire అంటే రెండు వైర్స్ మధ్య ఒక లైట్ బల్బ్ పెట్టి ఆ లైట్ ఎనర్జీని ఇంకో వైపు పంపించగలమా అంటే దూరంగా నో, యూ కెనాట్ సెండ్ ఇట్. మీన్స్ మేబీ యూ కెన్ సెండ్ ఇట్ ఫ్రమ్ వన్ ప్లేస్, ఈ రూమ్ వరకు పంపించచ్చాను. But say you want to transmit it to many kilometers, like thousands of kilometers, then you need optical fibers. So atlane optical fiber is waveguide basically. So waveguides annavi ekkada ostayante when you have to transmit information from one location to another location. Ekkada untayi sir alanti scenarios ante you see it in many cases. Like for example on an IC, right? IC ikkada undanukondi, IC pin nunchi ikkada మీ USB port untadi. Okay, ఈ పోర్ట్ నుంచి డేటాని ఇక్కడ ట్రాన్స్మిట్ చేయాలి. సో ఫ్రమ్ ద యూఎస్బి ద డేటా హ్యాస్ టు ట్రాన్స్మిటెడ్ టు ద ఐసీ పిన్. సో మధ్యలో ఏంటి అంటే యూ నీడ్ ఎ గైడింగ్ మెకానిజం. ఆఫ్ కోర్స్ we use a waveguide called Microstrip Waveguide. సో యూజువల్గా మైక్రోస్ట్రిప్స్ వాడతాం దానికి. సో ఇట్లాగా దిస్ ఇస్ వన్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్. సే యూ హ్యావ్ ఎ శాటిలైట్ డిష్. సే ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ మీ ఇంట్లో ఇఫ్ యూ ఆర్ యూజింగ్ డిటిహెచ్, సే యూ హ్యావ్ ఎ శాటిలైట్ డిష్ లైక్ దిస్, డిష్ యాంటెనా. ఓకే, డిష్ యాంటెనా ఎలా ఉంది. సో ఫ్రమ్ ద డిష్ యాంటెనా మీ టీవీకి కనెక్షన్ కావాలి. సో ఏం చేస్తున్నారు, పైనుంచి ఒక కేబుల్ డ్రాప్ చేస్తున్నారు అండ్ యు ఆర్ కనెక్టింగ్ ఇట్ టు యువర్ టీవీ, రైట్? టీవీ కనెక్ట్ చేస్తున్నారు. సో టీవీ కనెక్ట్ చేయడానికి వాడుతున్న కేబుల్ ఏంట్రా అంటే ద కేబుల్ ఇస్ నథింగ్ బట్ ఎ కోయాక్సియల్ కేబుల్, రైట్? కోయాక్సియల్ కేబుల్ విచ్ ఇస్ అగైన్ ఎ వేవ్ గైడ్, రైట్? సో యూ కెన్ సీ దెర్ ఇస్ లాట్ ఆఫ్ నెసెసిటీ. ఎక్కడో ఉంటుంది యాంటెనా, అక్కడి నుంచి ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ మీకు పలానా ప్లేస్కి తీసుకెళ్ళాలి అంటే మీకు వేవ్ గైడ్స్ కావాలి. సో వేవ్ గైడ్స్ ఆర్ వెరీ ఎసెన్షియల్ థింగ్స్ వెన్ యూ డిజైన్ సర్క్యూట్స్ ఎట్ హైయర్ ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీస్. సో ఈ కాన్సెప్ట్స్ ఏంటి అంటే ద కాన్సెప్ట్స్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ కోర్స్ ఆర్ కోర్ కాన్సెప్ట్. ఈసీలో ఒక వైర్లెస్ కమ్యూనికేషన్ డివైస్ ఏదైనా తయారు చేయాలి అంటే ఈ కాన్సెప్ట్స్ మీద ఐడియా ఉండాలి. అండ్ మోర్ ఓవర్ దిస్ కాన్సెప్ట్స్ హ్యావ్ are asked a lot in most of the public exams, అంటే పబ్లిక్ సెక్టర్ జాబ్స్ ఎగ్జామ్స్ కానివ్వండి, గేట్ కానివ్వండి, compared to electrostatics and magnetostatics. These days, they are concentrating more on these topics only. Okay, so it will be very helpful if you follow closely. So that is regarding this course, the importance of the course and the objective of this course. So I hope I have given you a fair idea regarding it. So let us start the course then. Okay, but as the time is up, we'll start the course in the coming session.